Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, 22nd day of October, 13th day of CHESHVAN. Today we're going to finish our little unit on what happens when stains land on your garments on Shabbos and you want to clean them, and cleaning them is problematic. So let's say you have a situation where now today's stain that we're talking about is where it's something like caked on, like some food has formed a crusty surface on your clothing or something and you want to get it off. So, one of the things that will help make it a little bit lenient and possibly make it permissible is if you're going to clean it only part way. If you're going to scrub it down to the point where it's not visible at all, that's probably not going to be allowed on Shabbos. But if you're just going to gently scratch at it such that, it's a little less embarrassing and it's a little less noticeable, but it's still kind of there, that kind of can allow it to be permissible. You can see I can't be 100% clear because it's going to depend on the stain, the look, how much you care about it, but I'm giving you the general idea so that you can know what to ask your rabbi when it happens. So if you're only partially scraping it off, then it would possibly, you can go ask your rabbi, in this situation would be permissible for me to wipe off that something that's caked onto my clothing on Shabbos. Best way is to just scratch at it a little bit or maybe rub the reverse side of the material so the stuff falls off, but not to go right at it with a sharp thing and just scrape at it on the top of the material. That would be problematic. But I gotta caution you that sometimes scraping off dried, caked on stuff on your clothing could get you into another Shabbos problem, which is one of the 39 malachos called grinding. You're not allowed to grind up things into little powder, down to almost nothing on Shabbos. And if you have a caked on stain on your clothing and you are scraping them to the point where they become powdery and, just kind of dust off by becoming ground down to powder, then that's grinding and you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos. So if it's dry, medium, like a mud type of situation or something, then no, you can't scrape it off because that would fall into the category of grinding. So if you have a caked on mud stain on your clothing, it's really a problem to scrape it off because that would be called grinding on Shabbos. But this problem is more likely with food if it's an unprocessed food. It lied there, piece of banana, it became dry and crusty, and scraping it off would be possibly a problem of grinding and you might not be able to scrape it off. But if it's food that has already been ground up, it's a processed food, so it has already become all ground up, but now it's landing on your clothing, there's room for leniency there because once that food is ground up, you can't grind it after it's been ground. So you could be a little lucky there if it's a processed food that already gone through something that's like grinding. Then you can go ask the rabbi and say, this is a processed food that's stuck on my shirt. Can I wipe that off because it's not really grinding because it was already ground before? And the rabbi will say, smart guy. Let's talk about that. But you will have to, get clarification from your rabbi. So here's your classic situation. You're at a kiddush on Shabbos and you're enjoying the cholent, okay? You have a spoonful of cholent in your spoon and somebody bops you and a little bit of the cholent lands on your tie, your shirt, or whatever, and now it's going to be considered grinding to scrape it off of your clothing. Well, guess what? There's room for leniency there too because the beans and potatoes inside of a cholent are considered so cooked that so thoroughly cooked that they have a status of you can't really grind them anymore because they've become mush. So once they're mush, grinding doesn't really happen to them. So there could be room for leniency. Again, you'd have to go ask the rabbi, show him the stain, and say, what can I do? And there could be, he'll help you guide you through it, and there might be room for you to do something or other. The Mishnah Berurah says if grinding is a problem on a certain stain or something, in certain situations you might be able to ask a non-Jew to clean it for you. So that's also going to be an option. You're at the kiddush, you run to the rabbi, say, look, what can I do about this? And maybe one of the non-Jews working as a waiter at the kiddush can help you just do something to get that ground up ichi stuff off of your jacket on Shabbos. I can't tell it to you accurately. Every food is different. Every situation is different. But now you know some of the guidelines about stains on your clothing on Shabbos. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more, probably new topic tomorrow. Bye-bye.